Hello, everybody, and welcome to the premiere episode of the Biblio-Files, an actual play 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game set in the Forgotten Realms, loosely framed around the Candlekeep Mysteries set. I am your host and Dungeon Master, Asmo Daniker. You can find me at Asmo_Daniker, Asmo Daniker. Check me out here at Heathen Cantina as both a player and a DM. My pronouns are he, him, and I will be the Dungeon Master for this story cycle. I'm going to turn it over now to one of my players. Take it away, Matt. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Matt. I go by he, him pronouns. I will be playing Gale, the human druid, and you can find me on the interwebs at Hoffline on various medias.
Hi there. I'm Ruben, and I go by Azadem and can also be found on social media as Azadem. I am playing the elf wizard named Elazar.
And Fran?
Hi, I'm Fran. I go by she, her pronouns. You can find me on the internet as Citroneria. And I'm playing Arak the Goliath Barbarian.
All right, Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm a Heathen Cantina exclusive. You can't find me anywhere else. I'll be playing Shaznazular, the human rogue.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nick, or Unichronic. You can find me at Unichronic on Twitter. You can also find me and my hometown buds here in Waterford, Michigan at The Quest Nye on Twitter or the Nye Quest Cast on YouTube and Podbean. I will be playing Zare, the Dark Elf Bard, and Priestess of Illustrae.
So the setup for this is that most of our player characters have received a summon from a half-elf fixer named Alluvian, who has asked to meet them at the Elf Song Tavern. Before we jump to the tavern, and yes, everyone's meeting in a tavern, it's the Elf Song, it's tradition. It's said to be good luck. The one character who probably doesn't have a lot of luck is the one whose world's about to implode. So let's talk about Shaznazular and this silk merchant's life that you've been living here in Baldur's Gate for the past 3 months.
It's been good. It's been rich.
It has. It's somebody else's life, though, isn't it?
Well, it was supposed to be mine.
We'll explore more of what happened in a faraway land, but go ahead and describe yourself to us. Describe your character's appearance for the audience.
Well, I'm short Kalashite, bald, lots of jewelry. I wear very nice clothes, lots of silk. I'm a businessman, you know.
One night prior to the opening events that will catalyze you as a party, we're going to say that you were wrapping up. You'd sold 15 bolts of the finest indigo silk, and it was a tidy profit. You were doing the books. Your doors were locked, but you hear somebody knocking on the door, and knocking in a rather impatient way, just banging on the door.
Okay. I'll take that as my cue to exit stage left and take the bolt out the back door.
As you go to the back room, you know that it's just a lanyard to storage above and a ladder that will drop to the second floor, and a further dash towards the back door itself that will empty into an alley. So you've got some options. What you didn't expect to see was this creeping greenish gray mist pouring under that back door.
I'm definitely pulling the lanyard and heading upwards.
Shaz, we know you're in there.
They're not supposed to know me. Nobody knows I'm here, or do they? All right, I'm gonna bolt up to the second floor and pull that stairs up behind me, or the ladder.
So you scramble to the second floor and begin to pull the stairs up behind you just as you see that creeping gray-green mist coalesce and coagulate on the floor. And in the dim lamp that you had while you were doing your books, you see it begin to coagulate and rise up from the floor until it's a crouching goblin who's sniffing the air and looking around. He's dressed in actually very finely crafted black leathers and a cloak, and you wouldn't know that he was a goblin if it wasn't for him throwing the hood back and revealing his ears. He's listening. That's your cue to leave. He scrambles off. The last noise you hear from your shop and your comfortable life that you're hastily leaving behind is the sound of the interior bolt being undone as the goblin lets in the one who knocks. Smartly, up here is where you keep stashed your Jembaya, which I believe is the curved dagger of Kalimshan, and your armor. Now, do you hastily don your leathers, or are you just going to grab your pack and roll out the window?
I'm going to chuck them in a pack, make sure my knife is ready, and roll out the window.
All right.
Now's the time for speed.
And you do have some traveling funds and a traveling pack ready to go. Yep, when you're...
Always keep a bug-out bag.
Always. Good plan. Keep a hand crossbow in there. So you roll away and find yourself eavesdropping at the Elf Song Tavern. Dwarven barmaid is asking someone, let's do this at random. We're going to roll our first die of the campaign, and it's going to be to determine who goes first. So we got a 4. Nick, describe who's talking to the Dwarven barmaid.
Can you tell me the wine list? Zare says from underneath a practical traveler's cloak. You can see just a wisp of silvery hair hanging out from below its rim. Do you have anything of a uncommon vintage? She asks the barmaid as she takes down her hood and reveals her delicate dark elf features and eyes that sparkle like icy blue stars.
Oh, the best you can hope for is some of the leftover spring crush from Cormyr. We may have we have a lot more Suzale, though, if you would prefer an ale. We've got plenty of that right now.
Zare looks around at her companions around the table and says, "A round of the ale, then."
You are shown to a cavernous booth. Everything in here is stout woods and these deep, almost hemispherical booths of darkened wood and dark leathers. There are weighty wool curtain drawstrings to secure the booths. Yours is open, and you are the second to arrive. You are seated with a moon elf. A moon elf on holiday, if you will.
So Elisar looks to be a fairly tall elf. He's got a pale lavender-colored skin to him and amethyst-colored eyes. He is dressed pretty simply in delicate cotton robes, colored white. He's staying pretty calm for the moment, not really speaking much, taking in his surroundings carefully, looking around to see what's going on.
What would be your reaction to suddenly seeing a drow about to get in the booth with you?
He would be unconcerned at the moment. Given his travels and his time at the academy at Candlekeep, he would be pretty exposed to different cultures, I think.
Glad to hear it. It's good to keep an open mind and a heart. The drow that make their way to the surface have had a rough lot.
Zarya sits down at the table. She nods specifically to the moon elf and says, "Good evening, cousin," with a smile.
A curious duo are being asked some questions. Fulton says, "I suppose you're here for the meeting as well," looking up at this impossibly large specimen of a Goliath, and they're improbably not trying to steal your stuff there, Shaz, but the just gaunt, emaciated figure of a almost gray-skinned human. But I'll let you describe yourselves further, as the last of you have arrived.
So Arak basically is smiling really wide with a goofy grin at Fulton, and he looks down, blinks, and he says, "Sorry, what did you say again? I wasn't paying attention. There was something really nice looking up there."
Well, careful you don't see the ghost. We'll have to charge you extra. Are you going to be wanting to eat? You look like you could put it away. And you look like you
He
should.
looked down.
You have food here? Like real food? Fresh? Not contaminated?
We can put some spicy peppers from Kalimshan in there if you like. But
No. That's fine. Yes, we'd love some. Iraq, we'd love some. Here, we're here for the books. We're here for the books.
I don't know what that means. Are you here with Alluvian's party?
Yes.
Oh, I expected a lack of discretion from you, but you're in a cloak. I thought you had some decorum. This way. And she shows you over to this cavernous booth and draws back this rich burgundy curtain and ushers you inside.
There's other people. Hi. I'm Gail. Hi. There's so many. Wow. And then Gail just like creeps into the booth.
You hear this because nobody's making any effort to be subtle. Shaz, you came into the elf song a little while ago. You thought, it's almost cliche, it's corny. The elf song tavern. It's a legendary meeting spot for adventurers, and you seem to remember hearing something about a possible money lending operation, like the owner may finance stuff. That may have been the previous owner. It's tough to tell. The place has been around for a while. There was something else you couldn't quite recall, but you did hear this meeting being arranged, and it sounds like a team is being put together, and you recognize that play. So if you want to try to ingratiate yourself to their cause, that might be your best bet to remain anonymous and maybe beat a hasty, if brief, departure outside of Baldur's Gate, where you now know you are known to be.
I'm happy to be in a room full of people as witnesses. So I walk over to the dwarf innkeeper here, the barkeep. I forget the name.
Fulton.
Fulton. Say, Fulton, I'll have some of the stew, and add some of the good peppers in there. Make it spicy. I'm here for Alluvian's meeting.
Oh, of course. This way. I guess you're the last of them then.
Yeah, probably.
I was going to say a man of a Kalishite man is seated with you in. Are you wearing your fine silks, or did you try to look like you can hold your own?
Well, I have all my stuff in my bag, so I have whatever kind of casual clothes that I had on when I had to flee my shop, right? So.
Oh, but that was hours ago.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if I changed my clothes much since then. I've probably just been like making my way and trying to be unseen till I got to here so I could be in public.
So now that you're making your way downtown, moving fast, east side of town in Lower City, it
I'm
looks like
casual, but I'm still pretty dapper,
looks like the five of you are, there's but one seat really left here, so it's probably for your employer. But you should take the time to introduce yourselves one to the other. I know that Gale and Iraq know each other because they've traveled all the way from the northeast coast of the Sea of Fallen Stars over by Thay. Iraq, you actually come from the Thesk Mountains. You're a Thesk Mountain Goliath.
Yeah. And he's traveled a long, long way. And well, basically right now, he's just looking around the tavern and basically just taking in the sights. He doesn't really know what's happening and what's going on. He's just really excited to be there. He's really happy. He's smiling from ear to ear, which is weird for a Goliath, I feel like, but he's friendly, so.
Can't help but dominate the space too, just with your sinews,
the well-endowed nature of his body.
The total package, as it were. So you're definitely filling up a good portion of the booth. It's like when you get into a booth with a really big guy. And the curtains are still open, so you do occasionally see people passing by. Some of them, just look to be common folk. You're pretty sure you saw a sword on somebody walking in here, but it's a quieter night. It's not a particularly robust night at the tavern, so the mood is rather quiet as well. So there's not too much sightseeing and people watching to do, but you do see the occasional eccentric as you stare out there. As you try to gawk, but you're kind of not afforded the best view for gawking. If you listen closely, you can hear a dog outside lapping at a cistern. That's my dog. But the space between the curtains is suddenly dominated by a rather powerfully built, if short, half-elf gentleman with a shaved head and a little tiny tuft of a grayish-white beard, a number of creases around his eyes. You would have mistaken him for an oversized gnome if it wasn't for his nearly human proportions. He's also dressed in fine linens. Colors of blue and silver seem to dominate his scheme. And as he puts his hands up and goes, good. You can't help but notice that there's a number of patterned ink stains on his fingers. Repeated ink staining. He comes inside and has a bundle with him wrapped in some rough-hewn cloth, and he sets this massive tome. It's got to be a book. It's shaped like a book, and secures the curtains and seems to be a little excited securing the curtains. I don't think I was followed. Hello, I'm Alluvian. I thank you for meeting with me. I understand you're heading to Candlekeep, some of you by choice and the rest of you by design. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good. I'm so relieved to hear that. First off, we're just glad she's back, but we were kind of surprised at the sudden outpouring of generosity. I didn't expect any of that. Now, I'm sure if he looks at Iraq's going to smile and be like, yeah, exactly. But the other four of you have no idea what they're talking about.
That won't stop me from playing along.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone that wishes to can make a history check and see if you can associate the name Alluvian with anyone. Because
Yeah.
who are they talking about?
I would like to do that.
Me as well.
I'm going to do that even though it's going to suck.
Ooh, low roll.
Oh, wow.
I'm just seeing if I know.
So when Alluvian says, I don't have to tell you how valuable Robin's second treatise is. A rock, you're like, Robin? You've heard of Robin. Robin's like this mighty wizard who lives in, what is it, the high forest. She disappeared before the spell plague. The second sundering has put the world back in order, has stopped shaking the pillars of heaven, and may be why she's returned. She's known to be a friend to various humanoid tribes. She's made peace among some of them, some by excoriating the countryside and removing their rot from the land, some by diplomacy. She is known to be friendly, particularly friendly at times with elves.
So TLDR, a rock probably just figured out somebody really important came back, somebody really smart.
And wants
after
to
all
share.
Of the things,
Yep.
After all the things went boom, she's back. Okay, gotcha. A rock probably says that out loud. It's like, oh my God, I know her. I know her.
Now, LSR, that name sounds familiar to you. Especially upon hearing second treatise, you're fairly certain the first treatise is already at Candlekeep and has been for a couple centuries.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to roll better.
Getting it out of the way.
Now, none of this accounts for Alluvian's nervousness. I've never been in the company of such a book by myself. I used it as a pillow some nights. Traveled a great distance through the moors. Hired mercenaries, of course, as you do. But have you ever fallen asleep on a wizard's tome in the moors?
I hope you don't drool.
Well, they expect this in 4 days' time. The usual fees apply, and I'm prepared to get the paperwork ready and pay you half up front. And he begins to draw from his pack a small desk set and some documents.
Excuse me. Do you know when the food is coming? They said there was food.
I figured you'd be hungry, and she pulls the curtain aside. I was just waiting till he shut up. Here you go. And she sets down bowls in front of you. Alluvian looks a little miffed, but goes back to the paperwork.
Mm-hmm. At this, Gale brings out a berry and a twig and a leaf and just starts chanting slowly, just doing a ritual to purify food and drink.
Well, I don't take it personal, but I hope it's not reflected in the tip.
Sorry, I just it's the only way to eat food where I'm from. Sorry.
Before Fulton leaves, Alluvian grabs her sleeve for a moment and goes, It's all on my tab. All right? Good, thank you. And pitchers of ale are brought as well. He allows some time to pass, allows you to feast. Well, he allows you to sup, I should say. It shouldn't allow you to feast, but he allows you to get a bowl of soup in you, a couple crusts of bread, and as the second rounds of ale are being poured, and here's some of that spring crush from, I believe it's Elvin, and you could tell when she said it was in quotes, but she does have a glass of wine, and it actually smells very fruity. It's kind of like a Beaujolais. But it's a bright, fruity wine from the east.
When I taste it, does it actually taste like it's elven?
It does. It tastes like it's elven, but kind of a elven grape stock and elven growing, but you don't know that it was entirely tended by elves. Cormyr's an empire these days, having conquered most of the stuff around the inner sea, and maintaining a great deal of power and influence there. Arak and Gale, when you landed in Westgate, from having sailed across it and avoided the pirate isles, um, Arak, you were like, we should absolutely stay here. This is a town full of pirates. It's like a Broadway show. They're dancing on barrels over there. They built half the town on a freaking waterfall. Who does that? But Gale, you had the good sense to know that there's poisoners and assassins in Westgate, and the pirates are the least of your worries, and it was time to keep moving to the west. And eventually you made your way through the Elter Guard and all the way here to Baldur's Gate. Now, the mood gets a little more serious as Alluvian interrupts the second round to make sure the paperwork is done. I will need your names on here. This is not a magically binding contract, but it is legally so.
Is there anything unusual in the contract when Elisar reads over it before signing?
It's 6 pages. He didn't write it all. He just filled in the name and time, and there's a place for a stamp, but he's pretty sure another party will have to be involved for that part of it. When Felton comes back, he says, if you wouldn't mind waking Master Aleth or bringing him here as the owner, proprietor of this establishment, he is authorized to co-sign. Felton goes, great. Goes back to the kitchen a little defeated.
Fetching the manager.
And I thought it would be one of
tries
you.
to read the contract. He's not I know he's not going to understand any of it, but he's going to try to read it, or at least look like he's reading it, and look like he's understanding it.
Elisar definitely would have made sure to read all the terms of the contract before signing.
It's to sum it up. Actually, just go ahead and give me an intelligence check. We'll see how your legalese is. Unless you have I almost said profession lawyer, but unless you have something in your background that would give me another reason, we'll just have it be an intelligence check. I don't know if anybody has tool proficiency bureaucracy.
I'm good at forging documents.
That is applicable if you want to go ahead and give it an investigation check.
Not my strongest skill set, oddly enough.
I'm good at forging weapons.
I have no idea what this says, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to sign it anyway.
Elisar, upon reading it over, you realize it is absolving the basically Candlekeep and Alluvian, and he's said to be a fixer, but looks to be a scribe. He kind of reminds you of somebody who does a lot of clerical stuff. At first, he kind of struck you like a wizard, but he doesn't come across as that erudite. But the legalese in here is rather ironclad. He's on no kind of hook for anything horrible that happens to you between here and Candlekeep, and there is an option in there for a contract of further usage stipulation. Basically, if Candlekeep wants to then hire you themselves, he gets a cut, or you can work independently for him. It's more protecting Alluvian's interests. And at that, you realize, although he didn't write it up here at the table during this meeting, he absolutely generated these documents. And as he begins to sign his name, then Shaz, you're like, yep, that's a name. And Elisar, you realize that it's the same handwriting. Also, if you are to lose the book, then you are responsible for its return, and it has been underwritten for a value of approximately 50,000 gold pieces.
Is there anything about whether we're allowed to read the book?
Nothing. No. It says no folding, spindling, damage, or molestation of the manuscript is permitted without the express written permission of the powers of the office of Candlekeep. So once you've turned it over, they could let you read it, but it doesn't say anything about reading it. It says don't hurt it, don't damage it.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
something to. And you haven't looked at the book so far. It still remained under wraps.
Right. Yes, Elisar's going to go ahead and sign whenever he gets a chance.
And it's big. It's big like a pre-internet phone book.
Released
Zare,
under a Creative Commons non-attribution, no derivatives license.
Phone book.
when she signs, she skims it, and when she sees the not responsible for our deaths or dismemberment, etc., she raises one of her arched silvery brows and asks, "What kind of dangers do you foresee us running into on the road, if you don't mind me asking?" And she signs in her flowing, elegant Drowic script, Zare Vandri.
Well, there's a known bandit problem between here and the keep. Actually, all the way down to Capmshan. It's banditry is pervasive, seasonal, and with it being fall, there will be heightened activity. Surely, as far as you are passing through alongside, of course, but you're going to be close enough to the Cloakwood that, well, what the Cloakwood is known for, there's certainly some dangers there from hostile fae and who knows what. But the road tends to be rather safe, as I recall, and you should suffer no ill harm. He's not selling it. You don't have to make an insight check to realize he doesn't believe what he's saying.
She puts her hand on the contract after signing and closes her eyes and says, "Dark Maid, watch over us." And she passes on to the next person.
Gale takes the berry that they used in the purification ritual and just like smudges it where the signature should be. This will do, right?
It's certainly you.
Okay.
I sign it with a flourish. Hasim Napul.
Yes, it was Hasim's Silk Emporium that you just said goodbye to, isn't it? Is that your new nom de plume? I'm just.
This is the new one.
Oh, okay. So that is
not the old one.
Okay. Okay. Starting over again. That's what
Starting
you do.
over again. Yep.
All right.
Arak takes the document, and again, he tries to look like he's reading it, but I know he doesn't understand any bit of it. So he puts it down, takes the pen or the quill, and then, but for surprisingly, he signs his name in a beautiful handwritten calligraphy right on the paper. Arak Hard Smasher. And then he gives it to the next person.
Who's left to sign?
Well,
I think we all signed it this
I-
time.
All right.
I already signed it, Iraq. Here, sir. Take this.
Sign it again. Just keep signing it. We'll just keep passing it around. See how many signatures we can get before Luvian stops it.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't initial. My bad.
All right. Well, please feel free to enjoy the refreshments. There's no lodging or accommodations here, so you'll still be on your own for that. But I leave this book in your care, and this should cover your travel expenses and places about a fist-sized pouch of coins on top of it. You're pretty sure it's coins, judging by the noise it makes as it lands. And he rises to leave the booth.
What size fist? Goliath or normal human?
Let's say dock worker human. A meaty fist, if you will.
Arak's not impressed. Okay.
Does anybody inspect the coinage?
Of course.
Yeah, just looking in the top there's these are gold coins. There's probably 100, 150 in there.
Give it the old thumbnail check, to make sure it's
Oh yeah, it's Western money. It's what happens is, Water Davian money and the Lord's Alliance has a lot of the printing, but Baldur's Gate always wants its cut. So what you have are coins that have a few different, basically like two-headed coins, but they're still gold pieces. But they're good
as long as
in
they're the right
any
weight.
of
We're all good.
and they're good in any of the lands up and down the Sword Coast. And into the interior as well, but certain countries are going to give you guff about that. But you don't have to worry about that tonight, most likely.
So do they appear large enough and well enough that I could maybe take a couple shavings at some point when
You probably want to hand those over to somebody else.
when I get my cut, I might have to shave some before I spend them. That's just how it works.
Gotcha. It is indeed it is actually 150 gold pieces exactly. So first payment is the parcel I'm about to drop on the party's inventory sheet. Let's go ahead and switch this up. Help you navigate the party sheet. And I can distribute those to y'all if you want me to just divvy them up. It's easy because there's 5 of you. Unless you want to, let the obvious criminal shave the coins. I mean, I'm not judging. I leave that for alignment in the gods.
I'd be happy to hold the money for all of you.
No, thanks. No.
What did you say your name was again?
Can hold
Obvious
mine.
criminal. I'm just a well-dressed businessman.
That's nice. A rock. You take my portion of the money. Keep it on you.
Oh,
Just
Are
like
you
when we
sure?
traveled.
yeah, he's
Okay.
he's not so much strong enough to really hold a big bag of money. He's wasting
It's
away.
That's way
so
that's
heavy.
fine. Yeah.
And
Arak will probably
metal.
take the coin then and hide it in his pouch.
Okay.
His pouch.
All right. Did you wish to
Oh,
take?
yeah.
Is there any other anything else you want to do? It's it's early evening. Probably want to get a night's rest before you head out. Maybe you want to leave under the cover of darkness. Some of you may want to leave early.
I'm all for heading out right now.
Yeah.
If you guys wanna hit the
Sorry,
road,
like
I'm all about
let's
it.
go. There's no better time than under the light of the moon.
There's no better time than a lack of sunlight sensitivity.
Um, is there any place we could get traveling supplies with all this money, just in case we need things on the road?
Well, you could probably find an outfitter that is open and operating. It's not that late at night, but you are going to have to knock on some doors.
Mm-hmm.
Is Arak gonna need a bigger stick? Is what I'm thinking.
Do you have a quarterstaff? Are you looking for a half staff? So if you did want to do any shopping, we can settle that up. But it's not very good radio.
What type of things do we need? I mean,
I figured y'all were pretty kitted out. It's just if you wanted to double up on some ammunition or healing potions can be had for 50 gold apiece. So that is something to consider.
Yeah, we can do it.
And how much money do we have? About 150?
Oh yeah.
Total.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so 3 healing potions total.
Let's not. Let's just head out.
Yeah.
It's also
You
the
don't need
perfect
them.
amount for the 2 material components I need.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
how about that?
Those are some pricey components, aren't they?
Are they reusable
Yeah.
ones?
Yeah, it is. Hold on. It is a diamond worth at least 50 gold for chromatic orb. And then, let me find the other one. A pearl worth at least 100 gold for identify. So,
Okay.
but no rush on them. I mean, I don't need them yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. You have one of them. Pick.
I'm gonna go with identify.
Okay, then you have the owl feather, the cup, and the pearl.
Awesome.
The old way was to, I believe, crush the pearl, put it in the cup, drink the pearl powder with the wine and the owl feather, and brush the owl feather on the item, and its mysteries would be revealed to you. That's circa 1989 first Forgotten Realms campaign when we read the material components and did that. I'm real glad that I have somebody here that can make some of that connection too. It feels like there's a legacy here, But
I'm all about the arcane focus
It's
nowadays.
an
yeah.
essential
For real.
ritual.
And Eric and I were two of the 3 DMs for an extended family of I think there were 7 other players besides us 3 DMs, and a third DM was where we did the playing his attic, and we were the DMs and we split the box set amongst ourselves. And oh look, we're back in the corner of it I had then too. Yeah. All right. So you're just about ready to go. So you don't have the means of casting chromatic orb just yet, is what I'm saying.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. That's a pretty good sized diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can get that in a ring, and that way it's reusable. But you can definitely cast the identify.
Probably find one of those for you.
So you have been traveling a while. Gale and Rock, the two of them look like they are from very far east. And they look like they walked and swam the whole way. So you wish to just head off on your merry hob at night?
Wasting moonlight.
Okay.
I'm with our drow friend here.
Okay.
Do we need to rest?
I'm all about getting my traveling clothes on, and let's get out of here.
Okay. As you leave the Elf Song Tavern, a fine drizzly mist rain begins to fall. It's not so much a rain as it seems like the river mist is washing up a little further into the east side, and it's just clinging to you. You leave the wood, pipe smoke, ale, and fried cheese and savory brown stew smells of the Elf Song Tavern. And even though you were only in there a few hours, you're still disappointed you didn't see the ghost. You're not regulars, but your sense of smell is immediately shaken as you smell something very spiky and pungent and familiar. There's a two large brass wheel, 2 small brass caster wheels for turning, cart being pushed by a short, stocky, balding Kalashite man with a prodigious mustache. It's a coffee cart. And he's just pushing it past you, but he's not set up for sale, but you can smell that there's still coffee to be had there. If you wished, you could.
We need some of that for the road.
It might help those of you that
smells like home.
It does. I'm happy to sell you one. Hang on. And he stokes the brazier underneath and reveals the cover off of this tray of sand and pulls out these intricately hammered into shape, long-handled copper coffee pot, a proper copper coffee pot, and begins to heat them up on the sand and pour them until they thicken. It takes a few minutes, and even though you know the cost to be 1 silver, you feel like you should tip him for the show. How many is he making?
Wait, a rock looks down at Gale and asks, "You want one?"
You should try this. It's amazing. It's on me. I'll buy one for each of you.
Right.
It will make you. It'll give you energy for the walk. It'll warm your belly.
Is it safe?
Absolutely.
Oh, it's your first strong coffee like this. It's gonna scare the good berries right out of you. But so 5
This
silver.
coffee.
How much are you tipping?
I'll give
A
them all a
rock
gold
needs
piece.
a keg of that if they're going to be walking in the moonlight.
Oh, many thanks and 1,000 blessings to you.
And to you, brother. And to you.
And he's happy to have sold the last of his coffee before the evening. So there you go. Enjoy the night. He figures y'all are gonna go take in a show, maybe go to a dance hall, maybe paint the house. You don't know. But it's
All of those things.
you're able to make your way across the river Kianthar and down the road to Candlekeep.
As we move farther and farther away from the city and the ambient lighting becomes less, Zaray will approach Arak and say, if you don't mind, I would like to be a light in the darkness. And she'll put her hand on his shield and cast light.
Okay.
Shiny.
Rock, you suddenly have a very bright light on the outside of your shield.
Ooh.
Did you say
He's
it was
like-
raining?
It's a drizzly mist. It's not quite raining, but it's that clinging to you. And it is the 4th day of Marpanoth.
Putting the hood up.
1493 Dale Reckoning is the year.
Rock doesn't even mind that it's raining. He's just letting it sluice down his body.
Can I just
Yeah.
shape water to not get wet?
I'm going to walk between the raindrops.
So, with Gale being all of bones, skin, and maybe something in between, and having the first espresso of their life, are we talking like I just ate some frosted bolts level of hyper here?
You're stimulated and chatty. I don't know. I've got that. Let me send you a saving throw. Thanks for taking one for the team.
I mean, what's funner than playing a timid person than playing a timid person forced out of timidity by excessive levels of caffeine.
It's just a Constitution saving throw. I'm sure you're gonna do great. You're fine. You feel a little shaky in the stomach, but you also there was this warm sweetness and this spicy note up top, and it was actually quite delicious. It was satisfyingly bitter, and now you just feel like you can walk all night.
What did you say this drink was? Shaz Nazular?
Oh, it's coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, yes. It's an amazing drink from my homeland. It's rare to get such good quality this far north.
How do you make it?
Well, it's grown, as a bean, and then you roast it slowly to bring the flavor out. You roast it, and then you grind it and press it through water. It's delicious.
There are many beans around this area.
No, you can't use just any bean.
No?
No. It has to be.
I think you're wrong. I think we could use beans.
Nat 20 on your fort save. You're like, I could do 3 more shots of this stuff. I'm fine.
I'm used to this stuff. I love this stuff.
It is quite delightful, and the color is very fetching. All the most beautiful things are dark.
I would agree.
Rock swigs the coffee. I like this. Another. And then he throws it down on the ground.
Smashes the cup.
I've not had the company of a drow since my time in the Muzad. It's nice to. Also feels like home.
I don't hear that often, admittedly.
Not so ostracized where I come from. We're used to drow.
maybe I should visit.
You should. It's a wonderful place.
I sent you a history check. The history you didn't make, but the Constitution you did, so that's good. The coffee is stimulating, but you didn't pick up. He's talking about his homeland, but you're unfamiliar with it. Yeah, I mean you know of Kalimshan, but you didn't pick out the particulars there. Okay, so you're on foot. It's going to be about you're going to have to keep moving. Um, it's good that you started when you did, and if you do see a wagon heading to the south, you may want to take them up and hitchhike for a little bit. But the first night is upon you and almost past you. The sky is beginning to grow all rosy and fuchsia at the horizon, as pre-dawn begins to set in, and the demonstrative stimulation that you got from the coffee is coming to a close, and you find yourself a little thirsty and decide to set down for at least a short and possibly a long rest. But sit, have some water, take stock of your surroundings. What do you know? Just a good 6-hour walk outside of the city. Look right there. There looks to be a circle of stone and a couple of logs that have been worn away and have formed makeshift hitching posts. You can even tell that this is a place where bands have camped outside of Baldur's Gate. So might be a little too visible, is what you're thinking. You're a little too close to the city. However, it does have, minor accommodations.
I'm kind of gauging the time that we walked from the city, and I'm thinking to myself, have we traveled far enough this evening? I'm not sure.
The drizzle has given way to a starry sky, and it is clear, with occasional wisps of gray across a half moon. And the tears of Selune have provided their own radiance behind the half moon, like an archer whose bowstring has taken flight to the stars and dappled the campsite with starlight. And we're going to take our first break, grab fresh beverages, refresh ourselves, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, everybody. See you then.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the first premiere episode of the Biblio-Files, our Forgotten Realms actual play streamcast. When last we left our intrepid heroes, they had just accepted a contract and signed with their own hands in one form or another their agreements, and they have made their way to the rolling hillside south of Baldur's Gate on their way to Candlekeep. Midday the following day, after an uneventful night resting not too far from that campsite, you see a wagon coming from the direction that you've been traveling, so probably from the city. And as they draw closer, you see it is two wagons, each with a team of ponies pulling them, and what looked to be a motley of predominantly halfling wool merchants. Their wagons are empty, save single wool rugs, but it looks like they have sold all their wares and are returning back to the rolling hills in these lands. A number of sheep tenders here are halflings. It's not unusual to see them, but you've got two of them about to run you off the road. What do you do? They're not going that fast, I'm just saying.
I hail them. Oh, stranger.
Ah!
Have you
Whoa!
room in your have you room in your carts for some foot-weary travelers?
Oh, easy there, Masandri. He's okay. Oh, well, sure. I mean, We were loaded for wool heading there. We could definitely accommodate you. Hop in.
Thank you so much.
The fellow sitting next to him looks slightly less friendly, but still kind of glad to see you. The other wagon comes alongside and goes, "Oh, large folk, we should probably split you up. Some of you should ride in this wagon too. And we've got jerky."
Rock's going to the jerky cart.
Yeah,
I'm
throwing a lot
sticking
of
with
jerky.
Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
They
I'll get in the first cart.
I climb in with Shaz.
These look to be two families that are neighbors. There's a total of 6 halflings, 2 steering each cart and 1 in the back with each of you. 4 of them appear to be from the Bullweevil clan, talking about their great-grandfather Harkin Bullweevil, this legendary adventurer who went through the fields of the dead and was chased by a necromancer and got tired of running, so he went and killed him. So he's like legend. And he bought a patch of land south of Baldur's Gate that his descendants have settled. There you go. There's a callback for you. Little Harkin Bullweevil. But they're friendly, they're jovial, and you spend 1 full day with them before the trail up to their hamlet comes across them. So they've moved you a little closer to the keep, and you were glad for their company. Bid them adieu, and you may see them again in the future. But it does seem like you're making good time. You're almost halfway there. On the west, at first, you think it a storm cloud, a dark blot. Doesn't move, and you realize it's a trick of the terrain, as the hills here undulate almost rhythmically like a long serpentine form slumbering over the mountainside or the hillside. But looking to the west, you realize that dark shape is in fact the Cloak Wood, a veritably haunted environment, native home to many strange fae, Korrid, who will make nets of their hair and entrap you and take you away to prod at you in dark fae holdings. And worse, strange spirits, banshees, all sorts of foul fae folk, as well as a hideout for bandits brave enough to put up with what's already in there. It's also home to bears and some great cats, and have everybody make perception checks. I'll set those up for you here in a second.
Mm-hmm. Now, a Rock, we need to, contact the Fae that live in this forest before we pass. Otherwise, we'd be committing great offense. Remember what happened last time?
Oh.
All I know is last time I came past these woods, I came past in a hurry on a wagon.
It was like a 10 wagon caravan too, with quite an armed complement. Yeah.
We didn't dally in the woods.
No.
What time of day is it?
It is early afternoon, actually. Still a few hours before dusk. On the 3rd day.
And how's that sun?
Yeah, let's see. If it's a 7 or higher, merciless. I rolled a 7. So it's a cloudy day, but the sun is still shining through. It's not a fully clouded day, and yeah, you are definitely not feeling so good until you find some shade.
Yeah, Zare has her hood up, her traveler's hood up. It's visibly kind of uncomfortable.
In my home, the Drow who live in Wazad and around Kalimshan, they have a special, similar to what I hear they use up in the Arctic. It's a strap that they wear across their eyes with a narrow strip. It cuts down the glare. I forget what they're called, but it's like a leather strap with 2 slits cut in it, and greatly reduces the sun's glare. It seems to help them. You may consider doing something similar.
That's a fantastic idea. And as soon as we have some time, I might have to think about that.
I sent you all hidden perception checks, which are not hidden if I share that with the audience, which is why I changed the screen, because you can also see that too. But
I'm
it's
not
working.
actually actively looking at it, but
Dang, I could have seen.
but I do see us on a map.
So is
Maps.
your drow eyes instinctively tell you to seek out the shade of a nearby tree. And as you do, I'll move you to that, you feel this cool air pooling around waist high. Feel this change in temperature around your thighs, and from the west, from the cloak wood itself. I mean, you're in the outskirts of it. There's just this clinging, cool mist blowing in. Now, they say the strange energies of the cloak wood will coalesce and enhance the cool mists from the ocean, and then send them out as strange storms, purple lightning, haunted thunderstorms. I'm also going to say that I think it's time for our druid friend to make a nature check.
Ooh,
Nature.
just going to do one of these nature. Oh.
It's nature.
Now,
These words defy everything. The trees, they're wrong. I don't know. I know nothing here.
you perceived it as well. I mean, you feel the temperature drops. This mist that's blowing in from the west is cool to the touch, and you think you heard some laughter echoing in the woods as well. It could have been birds. The cloakwood is sent to be haunted. We also have a wizard in the party.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely in your 6th or 7th year at totally not Hogwarts because it's been around so much longer. But I'm going to let you make an Arcana check to see what you have read, and I'm gonna let it be open. If you make it, great. If you make it by 5, I'll tell you even more. If you fail it, you know what everybody else knows, which is what I've already told you. You do know that there's a contingent within Candlekeep. It's so compartmentalized. The cloistering and compartmentalization, the tier and the strata of secret mysteries in the place. It's very much organized like a university that's also a secret society. And you simply do not, well, you do not know because you're not prepared yet, initiate. You must wait. But you do know that there's a contingent within the school that has Candlekeep, or has the Cloakwood as its focus because of its proximity. And beyond that, you just don't know. I'm also going to let some other folks in on that arcane stuff.
Next person that rolls, I remembered I have guidance as a cantrip, and I can cast that.
Okay.
So Gale will be like, grab a maybe it's a twig or something off the ground and be like,
okay,
nature, no.
Who do you want to
nature.
give that guidance to?
Who hasn't?
Everybody else is going to roll. I mean, I'm even throwing a rock in there. A rock knew about Robin the Wizard in the High Forest near Unicorn Run in the Star Mounts. Why not?
Yep.
A lot of name dropping there.
Forrest, let my friend know your secrets. And they just be like, here, hold this. And they just give a rock a twig. Just hold this. It will help.
You're giving me the guidance?
It seems silly, so yes. It lets you add a d4.
Way ahead of you. Already sending it.
Yeah.
D4 is already added in there for you too. Should be.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, it wasn't. You could roll it if you wish, but I don't think it's going to help. It won't get you past 11.
It will not.
Wow. Okay.
No
So-
one knows.
So the temperature drops. Oh no. And creating
So
these
damp and cold in the north.
yeah,
Ugh.
the temperature drops and this cool mist blows into your proximity. It seems to be clinging to the ground, and you see a few wisps coming up from it. By wisps, I mean just little whirls of mist, as if something on the ground is moving through. But it's whatever it is that's moving is smaller than the mist, so you don't see it. You just see the wake that it's creating in the cloud.
Mhm.
But you all see that, and they do appear to be moving towards Zerai. Zerai.
Oh, friend, you may want to come out of there.
And you should be able to move. I haven't locked the tokens down.
Oh, do we have a map? I don't have a map.
You haven't shared the map with us.
Have some map.
Oh, there we go.
There's that laughter again.
It's real.
It's in the forest.
Totally Mordred from Excalibur. They thought they were worthy too.
I back away back into the sunlight.
Yep, that's it. No spoilers there. But they appears to be a number of critters moving. And as you hear them snuffle and snort, you realize they are boars.
Boars.
Balls.
And it's time to roll initiative. I'm going to send that to y'all as well. Oh boy. Yes.
Time to die.
Just a quick
Time
question,
to
technical
die.
thing here is: do you have the light thing on right now? The light source, because I have a black map. I can't see anything.
Same.
Oh.
Mine just loaded. Like
Yeah, mine
Fantasy
too.
Grounds almost not stopped responding, and then it loaded.
It was waiting for me
Yep.
to say something because now here it is. I
Oh,
got
thank
it.
goodness. Thank goodness. I was like,
Classic computer troubleshooting.
I made this map.
Classic.
I love this map. I hope you can see this map.
I
And
still
so-
haven't loaded, but that might be my coconut internet. So
And so we were traveling to the south, right?
Correct.
Coconut scented internet.
Oh, look at that. And I'm sending y'all some initiative. Good luck. May the force be with you.
You know, who needs good rolls?
You.
Sometimes there's advantage to going last,
True.
unless you're the first one getting hit.
Well, it looks to be our illustrious Drow sword dancer. Nice.
Are there enemies on the screen that I can't see?
Just moving towards you in the mist. They're starting to reveal themselves.
The map finally loaded for me.
Oh, good.
Yay.
Finally.
Yeah, these boars are being driven towards you from the interior of the cloakwood in this mist, and they appear to be charging into your area. They're only difficult to see if they're beyond 30 feet from you, just because of the obscurement of the mist. But good news is the mist is helping with the sunlight.
Okay. I strum a quick tune on my harp, and a wordless song escapes her lips, and she casts Bane on the boars.
How many of them can you target?
Hold on, let me pop it back. I think 3. Well, they have to be within 30 feet of me. Both of them are.
Yeah. Boar
But
1 and
then
4 absolutely are.
up to 3 creatures of my choice.
Okay.
And then I drag that over to them.
You should be able to.
Damn it. Okay.
Well, that was just the one. There's the other one. That one failed.
All right, -4 to attacks and saves for that guy.
So he's got the Bane.
Yes.
All right. Well, he goes first, so that'll be easy to remember. I mean, he goes when the bad guys go. He's the first one to go.
And as a bonus action, as she's like casting her spell at the end of it, she does a little like arpeggio flourish and gives Shaz bardic inspiration.
Oh, nice.
Bonus action. I am finished.
Love this song. Gets me so pumped.
All right. And that's your turn then?
Yes.
All right. Gale. Spirits of nature, answer your call.
Gale will see the boars charging at us, essentially.
Not individual target charging. They're not like head down coming at somebody they've sighted in, but they are running out of the woods towards you.
Okay. Then I will use the cantrip Produce Flame, which makes a flame appear in my hand, and you can also go and wait. Yeah. So I cast Produce Flame and see if they are basically driven off by fire as animals are. And so, move it around and be like doing quote unquote druid shit to see if I can peacefully make them not engage with us.
I'm going to go ahead and send you, how about an animal handling?
Yeah.
You weren't doing too well at the nature thing. We'll make it just open-ended. Like, I'm here for you. You got this.
We'll see what happens.
See what happens. Go on,
Wait,
maybe
I
talk.
got sent that.
Oh, it's because y'all are next to each other. My bad. I was just drawn to that animal magnetism that a rock brings. Just.
Mm-hmm.
Gale, they do not seem to be bothered particularly by the fire.
Well, then Gale will, do a tactical move back, and I'm warning you. I have fire. Leave me alone. Fire.
So you're just rolling around this little tiny fireball in your hand.
Yep.
Okay. Shaz, Nazular, the improbable.
Well, if fire doesn't work, perhaps arrows do. But then again, maybe they don't. See, that totally looked like a 14 on my side. It
It's
was sitting there on
skidded.
the 14.
Almost.
It's skidded. We all see the same dice physics. Fantasy
Yeah.
Grounds screws us all over visually. That's actually one of the things I like. To me, that's totally a feature,
Yeah.
not a bug.
You could add an extra D6 to that.
With
Oh,
that
that's
bardic
right. You
inspiration.
do
Oh,
have
yeah,
that
yeah.
bardic inspiration.
Right. Yeah, I'm totally doing that. And we'll just
Okay.
drop a raw D6 on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
16, I'm pretty sure is a hit.
We drop some of that sweet, sweet damage on this guy.
Yep.
Okay. And we'll call that a turn.
So what kind of bow?
That's a short bow.
Did you wish to move?
Actually, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm just going to stay here close to. Ray.
Okay.
Get out my combat tracker, and then I can. Okay.
So the first boar is the one that is suffering under Bane, correct?
Correct. Holy crap! It's a stampede.
This one rolls up on a rock, and although it wasn't charging towards you, upon seeing you, it, in a panic, does throw its head down and attempt to charge. Let me make sure that it can. Yep, 20 feet straight forward on a target and hits with it. Good luck.
Oh my god.
You got this.
It missed.
Very good.
All right, another boar. Four, five, six. This one runs up. Its movement is enough. It can trying to go around the rock, so it can't charge you because the rock protected a rock. But it can still try to tusk you. Oh! You were distracted by the other one, and you turned your attention to this one, not in time to get your shield down, and it came up under your shield, and just with an upthrust of its head, it just gored your thigh with its tusk.
Our
Okay,
first
I do
critical.
have Stone's endurance.
Yes,
so
Goliaths
whatever
are awesome.
Yeah. So, okay, you have to roll the damage first.
I'm gonna
though.
drop it on you, and we can mitigate it in the on your hit points afterwards. Wow, I rolled 10 points of damage. So you want to roll a d12 and
Painful.
shrug that off with your stone bones?
D12 and add Constitution modifier, so D12 plus 2.
Okay. You took
Nice.
0 damage instead.
Yep.
Goliath power.
That is freaking awesome.
And one can take 0 damage. Always take 0 damage. No, he's going the wrong way. That's a mistake.
He comes running up, and it's going to be random. Odd to even. He's going to try to tusk at the Shaz.
You got the critical mod going?
There is no
That was
mod for
everything?
that. I'm just on fire, and my dice are determined to take somebody out, it would appear. Near max damage,
Oh,
you drop
God.
unconscious. So you drop
There we
back and
go.
you go to knock another arrow, and as soon as you look up, it just comes up, and you just feel this tugging, and you're like, okay, I got the arrow knocked, I'll be fine. And you look down, and you just see this slow motion elevator of the Overlook Hotel, a shining blood curtain just roll down the elevator of your soul, and all
I tore my coin purse.
goes dark.
Oh my god.
Boar number 4, he's got some more. He's going to run up, the smell of blood inciting him to charge. He was hurt before by that arrow. He doesn't know who shot it. He only knows charge. And he charges and hits.
Ooh, at least it's not a critical.
Yeah, that's good. You do have to make a strength saving throw because it was a charge attack. And you failed that, so you are knocked prone. Okay. And we are on to Boar 5. Boar 5
Look at all the,
can't charge because of the tree. He's got to go around. He doesn't have it, but he can still try to attack.
look at all that bacon we'll be eating later.
He is attacking at advantage because you are prone. However, goddess be good, you still manage to like rock side to side and bat his head away with the flat of your blade, instinctively. Light of the moon, no harm shall befall you. This one comes up late to the party and can do nothing this round. Okay.
Oh my god.
Like, where'd you come from?
I also have to do a concentration check for Bane.
Okay. I can't send you a concentration check, but you can just whip that
Do a
up.
con.
Yeah.
Did you apply the bane, by the way?
I didn't. I didn't apply it as
And
an
I lost
effect,
the
but,
spell.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it missed anyway, but...
but he missed, yeah. Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
Good luck.
I haven't
We're
really
all counting on
programmed
you.
this yet, but I want to rage, so I haven't really managed to like program this.
Oh, don't
into
worry about
the-
that. We can make this work.
Yeah. So I want to rage, and then I have a bunch of them right in front of me.
Yes.
I will smack boar number 1
Okay.
with my quarterstaff at the ready. So I hope this works. Here's my action.
I mean, you shrugged off a big old tusk. And that's a hit.
Okay. So smack him. Add 2 to that because of
the rage.
damage.
Gotcha. So 9 to bore 1. Got it. That is enough. Finish him off, and he drops. Makes a lot of feeble squealing noises as he goes.
So his quarterstaff is actually made from actual stones from the Thresk Mountains. So he just immediately like bats it down and hits him straight on the skull.
I'm picturing it like they took stones that they carved holes in and then like grew a certain kind of tree up through it. So it's like
Yes.
this bit of joined like a ficus full of rocks.
Yes, exactly. And then he just brings it down and smacks it straight on the boar's skull.
And Ficus Full of Rocks is my Porno for Pyros cover band.
Ooh.
Nice. Good solid
Well-
hit.
Well done, Rock. Well, good job.
Great thing is he also has resistance to all the damage now, so I'm great.
Okay. Did you wish to move, reposition yourself in any way, or you good?
Am I gonna trigger an attack of opportunity from board number 2 if I move?
If you
It
get out
depends
of
where
his
you
way.
move. As long as you stay in a square he threatens, you can move. So you could go and like get between. I mean, you could go down, move like a chess knight, go down 2 and to the left. That won't
Yeah, I
provoke
can do
anything
that.
from the dead one. There you
Yeah,
go.
perfect.
Okay.
Then I do that.
Yeah, because if one of the boars smells the blood on Chaznazular and like decides to go in and root about the soft bits for a kill, it's horrible, but sometimes
Quarterstaffs
wild
do
boars
have
are
reach.
terrifying.
Quarterstaffs do have reach, so I could probably like still smack these things from 10 feet away.
Do you have reach?
Right? Quarterstaffs have reach, right?
No,
No, they don't.
No, it's you got to have something
Never.
longer than, of course, like a pole arm does.
Hold on, yeah.
All right. So you're good. Right, Elisar.
All right. So the moment that Boar 6 would have started running towards Elisar, he would have started preparing his cantrip Firebolt. And so he would, point his finger at the boar and try to light him up.
Okay. Oh.
If I could roll tonight.
All right. Did you wish to move? Draw a weapon? 'Cause it's as soon as you shoot it, it just like lurches to the side and it strikes the dirt where it was.
I'm just gonna reposition myself, moving this way, and then I'm gonna just prepare myself for the next turn.
All right. Mademoiselle Vandry, you are prone, but still conscious. And still muted.
You talking to me?
No, Zerai. Zerai?
It's my turn?
Yes.
Zare. Yeah, so I spent half my movement standing. She actually like kicks up onto her feet in a crouch, still holding her harp. And screw these boars. I didn't want to unload my spells like this so quick, but I cast color spray.
Perfect.
And it's a 15-foot cone, so I do believe I'd get all three of these guys, right?
I'm gonna say that if we like angle it just right, yes, you get all three of them because they are up on you.
Okay, and then I roll 60, 10, and I affect that many hit points of creatures. There's no save. It's just
dirty.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have my mouse today, so I just have to drop the D6s separately, or the D10 separately.
I don't mind doing a little arithmetic. I've only had one beer.
We can fix that.
I'll send around to the DM's table. Thank you. You could have right-clicked. Oh, you can't right-click without the mouse. Yeah. I am going to do a little arithmetic. Okay, so 14, 24. Wow.
Basically 39.
39 is, that's...
So, starting at the creature with the lowest hit points.
That would be Boar 4.
Okay.
He's got 3.
So, he is now blinded. Then it goes to the next weakest creature.
I think the other two are the same, probably.
Yeah. What's Boar 5? How many hit points? I can do up to 39 hit points of creatures.
Yeah, Boar 5 and 3 each have 11. So both of them are blinded too, correct?
Yes, they're all blinded.
Oh my goodness. That is fantastic. And really freaking helps.
As her song actually turns into a spray of colors.
Gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
And now I'm going to move away from them.
And they are blind, so who cares? I think they can still try to attack
me.
It's at a disadvantage.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, they're going to though, of course, because they do seem to be, in a way, they're feeling strongly. They're a little more aggressive than they should be, it seems.
And that could put me down.
That should be at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. But they still hit.
Fuck.
Man, my dice are hating y'all tonight.
Welcome to the first and last episode.
Yeah,
Oh
right?
my goodness! So very brave. You blinded them and then you drop. Whew.
Already
right.
half spliced says that is one very angry pile of sausages.
And now, what?
On your way up there, I'm gonna give you a free check because no one's dice have been particularly fiery tonight. I'm hoping
Yours
this helps.
Yours. Except for yours.
Yeah, except for yours.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, go ahead and try this nature check again. Extra crispy. Okay.
Oh,
Much better.
They are definitely driven by some magical energy. There's some, most likely a dark fey presence deeper in the woods that has done this to them and terrified them and driven them out onto the road.
So who should I revive? Because I have cure wounds.
I also have Cure Wounds. Oh, I'm out of spells, though.
Cure Wounds is a touch spell. So if you want to, I mean, it's a dangerous scene. They do appear to be under some sort of fog of the mind.
Who does Gale trust more?
Well, I mean, it's not about trust. It's about available combat effectiveness.
That's what all the old stories say. The bard sings a tale of available combat effectiveness.
Yeah,
Save all my friends in this action economy?
Ooh, I don't know if I can do that. I do have more spell slots, so I could get both of them up. Or I could do good berries, and that's 10 one hit point revives, and we just play the death yo-yo.
But good berries, you have to be conscious to eat them. You can't just it's not just like slipping some Skull Bandit in there.
I can't just
a
make
pinch. I was gonna say just a pinch between cheek and gum, but it sounds like it's just a bump between cheek and bum.
Left the gum part out, yeah.
No, you're not butt boofing good berries to people.
My name's Gale, and
this is
have
a
an
show
addiction.
for adults, where adults using adult language and having adult situations. If this is adult content, viewer discretion is advised.
So Gale's going to reach out and touch
Faith?
Shaznaz.
Reach out and touch me.
Somebody's getting this inspiration for all that has transpired. Gale, I'm giving you inspiration.
Woo!
Oh, maxing out the healing damage.
Yep.
All right. Shaz,
I've
your
got a
feet.
message from the side here
and-
saying Zeray didn't get this advantage because she's still prone, which is why it didn't apply that effect.
You're prone. You're prone as well, Shaz, and I just dropped that on you because you did drop.
Yeah.
So
That's
you are.
fine.
Yeah, you are on the ground.
I got Kev's on the Kev's watching the game. He's sending me messages here.
Yeah, what's he saying?
He was advising me as to the prone effect.
Oh.
That's why it didn't roll a disadvantage.
I see. Yeah.
Okay.
We demand a damage recount.
I feel good all of a sudden.
I mean, I could crit you more.
I'm good.
Ooh.
I'm happy.
Please don't.
Baby.
I forgot that I have the lucky feat. I should use one of my luck dice to replace that
Yeah.
critical hit.
I mean, it's bad luck if you forget you got the lucky feat.
It's lucky one way or the other. Okay, so I use half my movement. I stand up and I
Aha!
whack this.
But before I end my turn,
You're not done yet. Sorry.
yeah, I'm just going to move 15 foot onto this choke point. I mean bridge. Ah. Awesome.
Diablo pathing in effect for the next 5 miles.
Yep. Okay, now I'm done.
Okay.
I swear. Still holding a ball of fire.
All right, Shaznazlar, you are no longer prone. You pop back up. Half your movement. Boars
Back on the
everywhere.
scene.
Mhm.
All right.
They're snuffling around, sniffing at you, sniffing at your feet, and swinging their tusks. But you can tell that their eyes are clouded over. Looks like
The ray's still down, right?
yeah, but the spell still worked.
And it's done till the end of my next turn. So it's
Yeah.
not concentration rate.
No, blindness is awesome.
Well, I'm only saying this for, they're blind, so this is like sneak attack territory.
Yes. She has a short sword on her if you want a dual wield.
I've got, I'll just short sword. The dual wield won't help me. I'm a rogue. Low level.
Go ahead and take your shot at Boar 3.
Yeah, Boar 3 is gonna
Get stabbed.
yeah, he's gonna get stabbed. So I'll roll this, then I'll roll another d6 just to drop it on afterwards. And then
Okay.
it's just there's another 6 damage. There you go.
Okay, that's a bad day for
10
Boar
points of
3.
damage.
Yeah, that's he's dead. Wait, is he
Bacon
dead?
boy.
He did.
Yes, he is. He did. He all messed up. So you roll back to your feet and just stab right into his neck meat. He didn't see it coming.
Exactly. And then I'm going to use my remaining movement and just kind of shuffle around behind this guy.
Perfect. I like that. Okay. Do you see some sedges and thorns growing down by the river? Nothing unusual? Boar number 1 is dead. I'm just going to remove him from the combat tracker for the sake of efficiency and to help morale since y'all been getting kicked in the jimmy. Boar 2 is going to try to tusk at a rock. And miss terribly. Boar 3 is going
funny that they're
to
missing the giant.
But 3 is dead as well.
assume room temperature. Boar 4, even blind, is going to move to here and snuffle at Shaznazlar.
Smells the blood.
Yep. I'm going to say that they're not going to...
That sweet, sweet Kalashite blood.
And you smack him to the side with your short sword. His feeble attempts to blind tusk you did not work. Let's see how his friend does. Oh, his friend's got some
I'm going to
tusk.
substitute that with a luck die. Can I do that?
How's that work?
I can't do that. Let's read it, shall we?
All right. Yeah, let's go to the book.
Yeah, I'll drop it down here.
Lucky. Oh, lucky me. All right. So let's put it in this one. You can read it a little better. So, no, whenever you make, there's a couple things called lucky.
Yeah, this isn't the halfling one.
No.
This is just the lucky feat.
So you still got
The
your luck
halflings
point.
get it so much better.
You still got it.
That's cool.
Okay.
I got 2 left. Oh.
Yep. Here's some damage. Minimum damage. There's your luck.
I have 3 left, actually. Because I didn't use one yet.
No.
I should have used one.
Yeah, wait till you miss. Boar 6 is going to engage in combat with Elisar. Try to tusk you again. And hit you.
He is going to reaction to cast shield.
Ah, excellent. Much as your token depicts, you let's get a little zoom in on that. There we go. Bam. Or awesome. And that will be enough for him to miss. Very cool. Arak, take us home. Kill 2 of them. Pick one up and kill the other one with it.
I don't think I can do that.
DM said you could. Go for it.
That's what it is, Dan. It's just an improvised weapon.
It is definitely an improvised weapon, but it sounds like some beyond first level shenanigans.
Yeah, I think Arak is just gonna try to use his quarterstaff and smack Boar 2 right between the head, like, crack his skull like a walnut again.
Do it. Boar 2 has not been hit.
Yeah, but he's the nearest one.
Yep.
So.
And you are still raged.
Yes, I am.
How much longer does that rage last?
1 minute.
Okay.
Forever in D&D terms.
Forever and ever.
It's a big old hit. Down comes the quarterstaff.
+2 to that. So it's
Okay.
8 damage.
Yep. I corrected it.
And then I will shuffle over here. And that's my turn.
Nice. Very good.
Do the shuffle.
All right, Elisar.
Okay, his shield drops, obviously, since it was just a reaction. And he tries once again to cast Firebolt on Boar number 6.
I believe in you.
I believe in me too. Yay! And damage dice.
Nice.
Heavy man.
All right. And he is not going to move yet. So.
Oh. Failed first death save. Saray,
No.
the last thing you remember seeing as you hit the deck was the moon. And it faded back into the clouds, and you were like, oh, that was last night. And you're out again. In the arms of the moon. Gale. Gale the Pale from Misty Vale, as I recall. Or is it Misty Dale?
Vale. Right. So Gale will take the ball of fire that they've been holding this whole time. Just be like, I told you I have fire. Look at it. And throw it at Boar 4.
Okay.
And
Boar 4's not going to see it coming.
that doesn't matter.
Matters to him.
No.
We're frying up the bacon ahead of time.
Oh, yeah,
Extra
pre-cooked.
fresh.
That's a hit.
Dropped a 1.
That's some damage. Yeah, he's in rough shape. Almost extra crispy.
Almost.
Did you wish to
Is
move?
there any shenanigans I could do? Right now, Gail's thinking that being on a bridge is the right place to be. But they will take the freely offered perception check.
From the interior from your vantage point, since the bridge is a gentle arc, and you're in the middle of it, so you are slightly elevated. You've got the higher ground. And as you look west-northwest into the Cloak Wood, you see those wisps in the mist, those wakes that are getting kicked up. You remember seeing them as the boars advanced. These are moving at a incomprehensibly fast rate of speed. They are whipping the mist itself into a frenzy, and in fact dissipating it. They're moving, whatever they are, they're moving so fast within the mists, they are dispersing them. You rolled high enough. At one point, you see them stop, look at you, their antenna and pointy ears glimpsing you for a second before they flash into the other direction, back deeper into the Cloak Wood. Just witnessed some dark fae.
Now, having grown up around the fae, would I have any idea what the, generally mysterious mist-dwelling things with antenna and pointy ears would be.
I'm gonna even say like it's a nature check for telling stuff about the Fae. You nailed it. It's not a Grig. At first you thought Grigs, but moving far too fast. Grigs are trickster Fae with grasshopper-like lower torso features. These are cousins to the Grigs, but these are far more terrifying and far more difficult to reason with. You saw a Quickling. And that is where we're going to set our second break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. This is our last break for the evening. When we come back, the exciting conclusion to the first premiere session of the Biblio-Files. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking around. We're in the final act of our first session here. To recap, the party accepted a contract to transport a rare magical treatise from a wizard named Robin from the High Forest down the road into Candlekeep. They met some halfling wool merchants returning home and got a little bit of ride for a day, but on the third day in the afternoon, they ran into a strange mist coming out of the cloak wood. It was cool on their skin and strange in its nature, and it concealed a small pack of wild boars that were running out of the woods, seemingly spurred on by dark fey magics. And at one point, the druid from the vantage point of the bridge during the fight with the boars spied a space in the mist as these rapidly darting forms revealed themselves. One of them, a foul, feral fey of long ear and antenna and very fast feet. They realized that the power behind these angered boars are quicklings. And now we join the fight. Some boars, having been blinded by our bard's fantastic harp light and music show multimedia experience that is Ray, just dropping and bleeding out. I do not want this to be their final performance, despite being a right son of a bitch when it comes to adjudicating these rules. I'm harsh but equitable. I'd never call myself fair. That's for everybody else here. Where are we in the old combat tracker? It is Gale's turn, having just seen that Quickling, and then we go to, I believe, Shaznazular. Back into combat.
Well, I bet you can guess what I'm going to do.
Something along the lines of stab, I hope.
Something along the lines of stabbing this boar right in the neck. Yes,
Oh! Would you look at that hot and cold running crit?
That was
You rolled a
awesome.
20 and a 1 at advantage. That's freaking fantastic.
Thank you, advantage. All right, so I'm going to drop this on him. It didn't do the extra damage, but it doesn't matter because it's dead.
It did max damage, and that was enough to finish off the blind boar.
Yep. And then I'm going to move.
Oh, wait,
here.
you dropped that damage on yourself, by the way. You just killed yourself.
And that
by the way, you
turn.
dropped here. We got a little bit of a technical thing here. You dropped that damage on yourself. You actually just killed yourself in the combat tracker.
I am awesome.
I'm going to deny your movement as you are now the dead. Let's go ahead and fix that.
So I
Rewind the tape.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Okay, I'm going to go back and put the damage on the boar. How's that? How about that?
Let me take. It was already 8 damage. Oh, you did it with the sneak attack that time. Even better.
Oh, yeah, I got to put.
I didn't do the crit on
No, that was just advantage. The sneak attack damage has to happen now.
Yeah, now I have to roll my sneak attack damage. So I'm just going to drop it.
And make sure you double it because crits double all damage dice.
We can. The cool thing is we can show you the combat tracker, and I can show you this poor boar with 1 hit points, and you're worried about doubling damage.
They just took another 7. So
he's quite dead. He's
And I'll take my movement, thank you very much.
Might want
Baconed
to lose
him.
the unconscious effect.
Whoa, where am I going?
Whoa! I did not realize you have ingested the potion of damn you fast, son.
You want to try that again?
Yeah, I don't know why that did that. Okay.
All right.
Just a rounding error.
The blind boar snuffles up at the space you walked through, but is unable to sniff you out. Boar 2 is not blind. Boar 2 is, however, hurt pretty bad, but he's still going to try to tusk at you there, Rock. You are a whole lot of big, easy to hit target most of the time.
And yet they keep missing.
Is your armor class lower when you're raging? Asking for a friend.
No, it's the same.
Well, I wish it wasn't.
Rock is just good at defending himself. That's all.
Is this boar still blinded?
Boar number 4?
How long does the color spray blind?
It was you know why? I think they're done because it was the end of
Okay.
my next turn.
All right. I had a feeling it was coming up on it, or we had just passed it. Either way, with his eyesight recovered, he shakes it off and doesn't know who to go after. Whether it's the body of Zeray or it's time to.
Can I deliberately provoke it?
As soon as you
Okay.
think to, you did.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh, that's
another
nice.
nasty wound right across the top of your leg, and it's those tusks just keep finding arteries. You feel
I'm
the
never
warmth
going to get
of it.
these blood stains out of this leather.
Nope.
I love how the smaller people are the one who just get smacked, and Arak is like 7'11" and never getting hit.
Right. Well, something did roll up on you and hit you really, really hard, and you're like, nope.
He's made of rock. What?
LSR, this boar slashes at you and clips you on the arm as you retreat back with your weapon.
He's taking the hit this time.
Yeah, he hit you pretty hard. But now it's Arak's turn.
Well, I feel like Arak's Rage has been handling this pretty well so far, so I'm just gonna do what all barbarians do, and then I'm gonna smack boar number 2.
With a hard place. That's a hit.
+2 to this. Well, it doesn't matter. He's dying.
Nice.
And then now I can move, and I'll move here and kind of like lumber over to boar number 4 and just stare it down from like 8 feet high, looking down at the boar.
It's not the last one left alive, so next turn you can try to intimidate it if you want.
Mm-hmm.
And that can work. The thing is, you represent. See, the thing. One of the things that I always liked about the Forgotten Realms is it's the nature of magic within it is pervasive. And although these are simple beasts that have been bewitched in some way, you represent this powerful earth-based energy. So your signature, the what you give off in the area, the way you color the weave as you rock your way through it matters. All right. Good turn. Elisar.
All right. Gonna go 3 for 3 on firebolts. Hope to take this one out.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Burn
Yeah.
that bacon.
You hit him, and the flames, he just spins around and starts. Ground
And
shudders, and he is dead.
he's gonna start moving over here.
Zeray has not stirred in some time. In fact, it's looking kind of bad. Just so you know.
Sadly, his classical training did not include the field of medicine, and so he cannot provide much help.
Okay.
Now, actually, we would like to use the inspiration on Zaray's death saving throw to see if we can get a sweet natural 20.
Okay. I'll even say this, since it obscures it from y'all's view, but it's visible as we stream, which I'm kind of digging and loving as time goes on here. It was a success, so you can only hope to improve it, right? By way of you're hoping to roll a 20. What I'm saying is, even if you roll absolute garbage and you roll a 1 here, it doesn't count, so don't worry about it. But I'm going to send it to you as just a standard death save. And go.
I believe.
Oh, so it didn't count. We can't improve it. You failed one and made one.
Yep.
That makes the next round terrifying because 1s and 20s. Come on. No 1s. No whammies. Stop. A color TV. All right. You. Good turn. Oh, this is tense. Gale.
Yes.
Do you remember what you saw?
Yeah. What direction was it in, and is running away? Well, fuck, they can outrun us.
They got the speed force, son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're Barry Allen up in here.
Gale is the only one aware of the
so
other
far
thing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So far.
Yeah. What? So Gale is going to just do a firebolt on the board, hoping that that's buying, or not fire.
Don't you still have the produce flame?
Yeah, that's the one. Same thing. I throw balls of fire.
Goodness gracious.
Version.
Oh my. It's not a big ball of fire yet. That's in the later levels.
Y'all are first level, 6 boars. All I'm saying. A worthy fight with nasty Faye waiting in the wings.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully we just leave before that. So just gonna do one of these. Produce flame. That's a hit.
Boar 4 is now extra crispy, and the boars are no more.
I told you I had fire. Why didn't you listen to me?
You didn't want to kill the good boars, but as you regroup, we're out of combat. And as you regroup, you
Okay. All right, so we're out of combat. I was going to use medicine to stabilize Zaray.
Excellent.
And I will cast the cantrip of guidance to improve that medicine check.
Glad to hear it.
And I'll even use a luck point on it, so I can roll that at advantage, or basically.
There you go. And the D4 if you need to, if it comes in clutch, because the DC's low, but I think you got this. I already said.
That's just you did it at advantage. Okay. Success.
Nice.
You
Okay.
made it. You are stabilized. Zaray, you're gonna live. You're gonna make it. All right. While you we could probably drop the anxiety initiative music. While you gather round, dead boars everywhere in this cool mist. The mist ceases advancing, but it's not retreating. It just sort of pools around you, but it's not carried on a motion like a wind anymore. And within it, you are aware of rapidly darting forms. The mist seems to stop at this stream. It can't cross the creek for some reason. But within the mist and the shadows of night advance out from the cloak wood, and it suddenly feels much, much later in the evening. Zeray, as you regain consciousness and sit up at but one hit point, having arguably the worst day of the past season, if not life, the first thing you're aware of is that you're not alone, and whispering within this mist in these woods, you hear, "You carry the witch's book, you carry the witch's book, you carry the witch's book. She betrayed the pact. Oaths broken make warlocks. A wizard she is not, a wizard she is not." And it's echoing throughout the mist, and then the mist retreats, and everywhere it touched, the ground is dappled with hoarfrost as the fingers of cold Fey winter retreat into the woods. And I'm gonna need every one of you make a Constitution saving throw. There you go.
Finally, a good roll.
Not fan.
Shaz and Zeray, maybe this is because you
Left
fell.
point. Left point.
All right, I'll send you another. Oh,
Got him. Might as well use him before I rest.
oh, that's right. Yours are long rest recharges, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's better.
Yeah, Lucky's really great.
That's why I took that.
If you remember to use it.
Yeah.
Zeray, you feel absolutely exhausted.
Oh.
The
Whipping out the
cold-
exhaustion now.
First level. The cold as it retreats, it got into your bones though, and it just set up shop. And this is an old magic, and it involves elven betrayal and dark forces. You're just caught up in it, but it sounds like somebody has to answer for something.
Drow don't know anything about that.
Alestri is also the goddess of hunting, and I haven't worshipped her in that way in a long time, and maybe it's her. Maybe it's time I start.
Maybe she sent you a feast on moonlit mist.
We do have
Litmus
hog bacon.
test?
This is like Porkapalooza. There is no shortage of swine
yum.
around.
Can I carry all of them because of being a Goliath?
I'll tell you what, if you want to take the time, if you want to spend a couple of hours here, the cool thing is you've got everything you need. You've got kindling to gather. You've got fresh running water. You can absolutely rig up something to gut and smoke and prepare some of this for transport. But it'll take you the rest of the day.
Considering how dangerous the area is.
Or you could, at the other end of the spectrum, if you still want to get something out of the boars, you could carve off a hawk. You know, just grab you a ham, just grab one of the legs, take that with you. That's enough to feed everybody for the next day or two.
And we know someone who can purify food and water, so if it starts to spoil.
Yeah.
Can I just drag one of the corpses with me? I do carry like things one weight band higher because of being
Totally.
a Goliath.
The weight's not a concern. It's just you're going to want to gut that. You're going to want to cut out around its gut bag and get all its innards out so that you have something worth transporting.
I don't have mending, but what Zeray will do as we're like getting our shit together is she will approach Shaz and say, your dapper clothing has suffered a bit of stains. Now use prestidigitation to at least clean them for him.
You are covered like fucking collarbone to asshole in blood. Just like.
Hey, but if she could do that to shake some of it off, thank you so much.
I can clean an object instantly, and I do so to myself as well.
Dry cleaning as a cantrip is fantastic.
Yeah, you are the best. Thank you so much.
I just
This
tie
made my
up
day.
like four of like the four legs of one of the hogs, tie it all together, and then hoist it up on my shoulder and start walking.
Perfect.
Does this qualify as a short rest while we're doing this?
I mean, I should just switch over to show you what screen I'm on. But yeah, that's exactly where I was at. Was short rest land. I had that queued
Awesome.
up and everything. So
Oh,
yes,
cool. Okay.
feel free to spend your hit dice if you wish. Your hit die.
Yeah. Oh, that's much better.
Well earned short rest. That was a hell of a fight. 6 boars. You're getting the feeling like a short rest is okay here. Getting one of the boar carcasses ready for transport, the best looking one.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything else with the boars? You can knock out the tusks.
I'm also going to recover my spell slot from that shield, from that short rest,
Oh, yeah,
with
Arcane
Arcane
Recovery.
Recovery.
You have arcane recovery. That's at level 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I heard the
Yeah.
disembodied voice of Clarg on the wind when they carved the ham off.
Clark want these tasty hams. Oh, that's
We
a
should
callback.
probably like maybe the rest of it we just like chop off the ham hocks, but a rock definitely carries one of them because I feel like at least later on, like in the night for a long rest, it could be fashioned into like leather, or like
Oh,
the tusks could be ripped out and used as weapon later on or something like that.
I'll need some leather.
Barbaric.
He is a barbarian. He's a Goliath barbarian, so
No, in this, I mean, you could absolutely, get a good harvest of food from it. You just have to make a couple dice rolls. We're not going to worry about that just yet, but you're able to do so. And if you want to if you want to like wear the
boar
pelt,
head,
because this was that kind of fight, and
yep.
you fought bravely and with honor and absolutely defeated the fierce spirit of the boar as manifest by a bunch of fey enraged boars.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
need to
Yeah,
clear
Rock
through
wants to
this
do that.
forest.
So
Gonna rip the jaw off and wear.
what you are realizing is, even though a short rest is perfectly warranted and seemingly safe, it's probably not best to long rest here. The last thing you want to do is like dream here.
Mhm.
That seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, let's not.
Don't make your bed at the foot of the Fae. It's the Lancer.
What
That
about
is
the
just-
elves who don't need to sleep
We
and
can
just
still
go into a
dream.
trance?
That's good for most. That's good for 2 of the party. Gives you lots of options
This is
for
out of
camping.
his element. He just wants to get to the keep.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Well, the keep's still a couple days away. So you continue on
Right
southward.
there by standing here.
Continue on southward. Go ahead. We're gonna. We're not in initiative, but we're gonna do something that, borrowing a page from Hank and Fernale. He's the author of the ICRPG, and it's fantastic. And one of the things he recommends is, even when you're not in combat, keep them in initiative, keep them in tactical movement, keep the tension going. So we're gonna reset the rounds back to 0, and we're gonna have you roll for initiative, but there's no combatants currently. I know y'all like rolling dice, so I'm gonna send that to you instead. Myself included. I love rolling dice. There you go.
Dice.
And it's cool to see all your colors pop up, because I'm kind of
Oh
grooving on that
no,
too.
the math rocks.
All right.
They have not smiled upon me.
We got that elven speed.
Yeah, for real. Oh, let me take prone off of Zeray. You're not 100%, but you're definitely a lot better than you were, and you have weathered the storm and fought boars. Who's going over the bridge first? That's really what I'm asking.
During the hour of downtime, Gale would have said something about the quicklings on the other side.
Across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like evening, but not night.
It's late afternoon, but not yet
Okay.
dusk.
Okay. Not yet.
Long
dusk.
shadows,
All
though, which you're grateful for.
right.
So-
Okay.
Did Gale say that it was a quickling?
Yes.
Yep.
And you know that is definitely one of the Fae native to the Cloakwood. It usually indicates either a more organized or that's maybe not the right term. An increase in Fae-related activity near the road.
Mm-hmm.
Quicklings are fast and take advantage of it. Sometimes they engage in simple bandit predation and just roll up on merchant caravans and take a few choice items off and go running off. And what the hell's an unarmed merchant or merchant with a short sword going to do against 4 quicklings wanting to steal their jerky and their pipe weed and their silver?
Before we continue,
Oh, no,
I'm
not
also
the
curious.
jerky.
Which one of us is actively carrying the package we're delivering?
That's a very good question.
It's a heavy book, right?
Uh-huh. Weighs 5 pounds.
A
'Cause, I
rock
mean, like,
will carry it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Has anybody decided to inspect it?
Eventually Elisar wants to read it, but he's gonna wait until he's in a more stable place. Like he doesn't want to get it muddy or anything out in the woods or.
It does look to be a risk out these ways. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and show me how you're moving, though. We're gonna stay in a tactical movement. It's kind of
Shall
like
we cross together, cousin?
Of course.
I have a weird idea.
Share it
Alright.
with the class.
Well, it's not weird, it's funny. Arak holds Gale's hand and starts to cross the bridge because it's like, you need to find your buddy or else you'll get lost.
okay. So
This is always how we cross bridges.
Okay, so we're going 2 by 2. I get it. All right.
Wait, Shaz doesn't have a buddy.
I'm okay with that.
Chaz has always been the lone wolf.
And like Arak for a moment looks at Shaz and then looks up at the fact that he's holding an entire boar carcass in one hand on the other, and he's like, I can't hold his hand, and he's sad as he pouts and walks over the bridge.
It's all right, big guy. It's all right.
And Zaray's crossing and moving with both of her short swords out now.
Awesome.
As we peak the bridge, Gale tries to just scout another perception down the road to see if the quicklings are still in the areas that they were before.
Can I also do a perception check for that?
Sure.
Not only can you do a perception check, but that twig I gave you a while ago, I think it still has something in it.
Oh, right, guidance, right?
Yep.
Twigs
So
and berries.
So I add a d4 to whatever this is. 17 plus 4.
My iron and
At
wine
least a
cover band.
one.
Oh.
The good news is the guidance helped you see something, but yes, as you go from the slightly echoey wooden planks of the bridge, and the bridge is old but well maintained. Old boards are replaced, loose cobbles are remortared, giant cats roam the countryside, just merciless in their nature, just taking out entire hamlets full of tasty halfling mice.
It's a rough place.
I'm gonna say that last fight was truly inspiring to me as a dungeon master. So I'm giving everyone in the party inspiration. I can't. It's we're not playing with milestones. We're playing with XP. If we were playing with milestones, that would have been one because it was a good significant fight. But instead, I'm gonna give everybody inspiration. You earned it.
Are we level 2?
No, not that though. Enjoy your
Do
free
a long
reroll.
rest first.
Uh-huh. But Arak, you do see that the mists are much less dense than they were when the boars approached, but the amount of long shadows and obscurement is the same. It is later in the day, the shadows are longer, and within the perimeter of your available sight, you see those fast moving little whirls and wakes kicked up in the mist. So these fast moving fae are about there. You can't see them, but you can see the evidence of their passing. So you know they're out there.
Rock looks at everyone and goes, "Find your buddy. We need to get out of here."
Right. And you continue south.
If only I had some monofilament cable to string between some trees.
Maybe we could hack an overhead satellite to get some better telemetry on the lay of the land.
Absolutely.
Wrong multiverse. All right, LSR, I'm going to let you go ahead and make the tactical movement first here, as per initiative. Go ahead and move up to 30. It may proc a perception roll. There it does. All right, 19, success. The mist isn't so dense here, and you're sure that as you advanced up, Zray turned for a minute to look. It's like they're playing at the periphery, the limit of your vision. They know exactly how far away they are really, really hard to see. It's like they read the player's handbook. But you, LSR, you move up and you're sure that you see this collapsing within the mist and at one point you see a iron-collared canid, some sort of dog. I'm gonna have you make a nature check and see if you recognize what kind of creature it is. Nature's a bit of a clue, just telling you that it's a nature check. Link dog. Now, everything's topsy-turvy. Quicklings are horrible, chaotic, malicious shits. They are evil fae.
Mm-hmm.
Link dogs are virtuous, self-sacrificing, noble mounts for halfling paladins. They're absolutely good and ordered and structured. They're lawful good. These are diametrically opposed alignments. The collar that you witnessed is also a check. DC's a little lower. I wish you well. Good luck. Go. I want to see you make an Arcana check tonight. You're the wizard.
Arcana.
You made it.
Barely. Barely.
For God's sake, you're a wizard.
Apparently he fell asleep in class.
The blink dog has a cold iron collar on it. It is absolutely a prisoner of the quicklings.
That's so sad.
Can we break the collar off?
Can we keep him?
You can try to befriend him. He's about 50 feet up. I'll go ahead and put...
I wave the boar carcass at him.
So is he tied to anything in particular, or?
No, he's still blinking around, but he's not like off and running. That's where he is. He's further south up the road on you. See him now?
Oh, puppy.
Kind of sad.
Oh.
You would much rather be out hunting displacer beasts.
He would. I mean, instead of being like abused animal to a bunch of nasty little quicklings, they're kind of horrible.
Is he a puppy?
He is. He's not a full-grown blink dog.
Oh, it's so cute.
And for only 3 copper a day, you too could prevent blink dog abuse.
Zeray, you move up, and I'm gonna have you make a perception check too. There's still foul forces here working. They couldn't cross the river with their mist, so they went around it or went over a different bridge. Apparently, the bridges around the Cloakwood might be.
Is it dark and obscure enough to where my eyes don't hurt?
Correct. It is. The shadows are long enough from the trees and the canopy. You're not in
Evening's
the
coming
Cloakwood
on.
proper. Just the what's that?
And the evening's coming on, right?
Yep. The nighttime is the right time. Drow to get down. There you go. Go ahead and make that perception check. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You totally see them creeping up.
And is the blink dog like regarding us?
He's not hostile. He's cowed. He's his tail's curled up under, and his ears are flat. He's totally submissive and abused. These quicklings were not kind to this animal. Fae aren't kind to the Fae. You have that witch's book. We want it. We want the witch's book. Give us the witch's book.
Well, hate to break it to you, but the book's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bards tell jokes sometimes.
Oh, I mean, sometimes they're really good at your mama joke contests. Vicious mockery, y'all. All right, Shaz, you continue to make your way across that bridge.
Shaz, because he's been walking in the back on purpose, is actually going to fade off into obscurity and go stealth mode.
Okay.
So I'm going to pass a stealth check over.
I'd be happy to. Show me where you're moving first. It's part of that
Oh, yeah.
stealth. Move 15 feet, make a sneaky sneak. I mean, the support structures of the bridge on either side certainly create enough negative space and shadow for you to tuck into and hide.
Yeah, I'm kind of. Is this a bush over here? That thing?
I'm gonna.
By the side of the road?
Yeah,
Yes.
by the road next to.
Yeah, it's not a very good bush, but we'll see how. Well, your stealth check is going to tell us how good a bush it is.
Oh, we're making our way that way. Because I'm going to eventually go for the trees, I think. But let's see what happens.
Okay. Which one we got up? Perfect. You won't see this. Yeah, go ahead and make your stealth check. See, I'm going to hide it from you, though, because I don't want you to know how sneaky you actually are.
Well, yeah, as far as I know, it works. I mean, that's
Real?
just how it is.
Yeah, you make not a sound. Quiet as the mist which has plagued you, you creep up and crouch down.
I feel like with stealth checks, you should never tell anybody the results. Because they should always just feel like they're hiding.
It depends on the mood of the table. Sometimes in face-to-face games, it can be fun to roll those in the open in front of people, but it is traditionally, like as a DM, I run Fantasy Grounds the way I run my home games, which is most of the stuff I roll out in the open. You know whether or not my dice are on fire. The stuff I conceal is insight checks, deception checks, sometimes your perception checks, and sometimes and oftentimes players' stealth checks, and that just things that your character wouldn't know. I just feel that's a good way to part of the philosophy. Like everybody owns half the map. I like that we don't all know how it's going to be painted.
I think it helps with the immersion. Like with a stealth check in particular, I feel like I'm hiding.
You're pretty
I'm
sure you're
hiding.
hidden? Yeah, totally. Hey, a rock.
So I can see the blink dog, right?
You see the mist moving quite quickly. And the blink
Not
dog,
blink dog.
I'm going to say the mist's part enough for you to see this creature. I don't know if you know blink dogs. They're not necessarily regional. But
But we have a puppy version of that, right?
kind of looks like a velvety gold pit bull with a lion's tail. And yes, a puppy version of it, so a small-sized creature.
So I was
Oh.
thinking, if a rock could see that it was like a dog or canine like creature, he would try to wave the little like like the giant hog that he's like holding up and trying to like call the blink dog over
I got
and
a,
be like
I got
super
a,
sweet
I
and
got a
like
milk, I got a milk bone around here somewhere.
yeah. Like he would basically try to rip off one of the ham hocks just to like wave it toward the blink dog and be like, "Come here, come on."
I will give
Like
you
that.
an animal handling check at advantage. However, you do need to get within 30 feet of it. From right where you are, the blink dog, there's hostile fey in the area. It's still kind of skittish. It's a cowed animal, so it's not um the quicklings seem content to like lurk on the periphery and just tell you what you carry and why they want it. They're having fun with this part and they know you can't catch them because they can move
Okay.
an insane movement rate.
So
More than you can comprehend. Really,
in
they're
one hand I'm holding Gale though. So like do I drag him along with me if I do this? Because he's probably like, because he saw a dog and Arak is probably super excited, like, oh my god, it's a dog, it's a dog, it's a dog.
okay.
So he moves forward with like the hog, and he's still not within 30 feet, I would say. Yeah, he's like
Correct,
double that almost.
but it's not a combat action. We're not in that kind of initiative, and you are, presenting some of the catch. You can move again with it.
Yeah, I mean, a rock has the big chunk of meat in one hand and the bag of bones in the other. The dog can choose.
That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. All right, you get
If I do
there,
that,
and I will let you make the animal handling. Let me just send that to you. At advantage.
if I fail this, I do have inspiration. So
Success.
yay.
It stops and moves closer.
We're gonna take that collar off, boy. I can see it at that distance, right?
Yes.
Like the collar on the.
Absolutely. Gail, you were kind of along for the ride. If you wanted to do anything, let me know what it was.
Well, seeing that I'm being dragged right into two quicklings, I look at the trees and I see some vines on them and I start chanting, whispering, grow, grow, tie them down, bind them to the earth, bind them. And I cast Entangle.
All right. Go for it.
And so,
Yeah.
Entangle. It's a 90-foot distance. I can do a 20-foot cube, which, hey, they're within that. And they have to make this sweet saving throw. Oh, only one of them. Oh, but
wow.
Both of them are failure.
All right,
so
let's point that out.
What?
Hey chat,
Awesome.
how nutty. They failed the hell out of everything. So I'm all speaking to how fast they are, how wily they are, how move around in the forest without you getting involved they are, and they just got snuck up on by nature. And they say, "But you carry the witch's book. You should not. You should carry." And they are entirely entangled. The blink dog blinks, and this time it blinks out of its collar and leaves the collar to clatter to the ground. And it comes over to immediately nuzzle a rock and ask for some of that ham hock.
Some of that ham hock.
Y'all gonna eat all that ham?
And the quicklings are struggling to free themselves, and this is a good place for us to call it a night.
Oh no.
With
Yay!
the Fey mystery all but solved, a blink dog nuzzling up to the party. You're gonna give him a name, I'm sure of it. And we fade out onto this little corner of Faerun, with the party a little more than halfway to Candlekeep on their first book escort. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, everybody that stayed with us. Thanks to Liza, Darling Archer from Manapot Studios for these overlays that we've been making excellent use of. They really kicked everything up a notch. Fantastic, fantastic work. Thank you to Smiteworks for Fantasy Grounds. Despite its quirks, it's still one of the best ways to visually feel like you're at a table, in my opinion. Special thanks to Kevin MacLeod. Your music continues to be a source of joy and wonder for all of us gamers. Thank you so much for sharing that with the world. Thank you to Fantasy Grounds Pro Stream. Thank you to Christopher Busey and Rob Toohey for putting that together and feeding the data that we used on one of our overlays. Thank you to Dungeon Draft for the map software. And thank you to the Fandom Forgotten Realms wiki for all the wonderful world building tips. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 weeks from tonight, and we will continue this adventure. Thanks again.
Drop the Discord link in the chat.
We're going to drop the Discord link in the chat. We're going to set up for a raid. I got to pull up some fancy shenanigans there, but stick around for the raid, and we will drop that in the chat here. Thank you. Woohoo! Good night, everybody.
Mhm.